So what else is going on, Lakeisha, with Lavichelle? By the way, I just want to slide right into the show. So this is a episode of Box Talk. I got Lakiesha Anderson with me. She is the owner and co-founder, not the co-owner and founder, sole owner, sole proprietorship of Lavichelle. It is a cosmetics brand, a cosmetic startup, and I have Lakeisha Anderson with me. Thank you for hopping on the show, Lakeisha. This is Box Talk by Half Price Packaging and I'm your host, Ali. And yeah, I'm gonna start off with this right here, the box. And
Yeah.
this is a body bomb, right? You focus a lot on body bombs too, right?
Yes, absolutely. So
Nice,
I learned
nice.
very early on what I was good at, and I figured I would just stick to that.
I know, right? Don't get so much caught up into a lot of things. If you want to start it, just start it and start it with the passion and start it simple. And that's what you
Absolutely.
did. You started simple.
Absolutely, absolutely. I look at my product roadmap almost every day, and we have enough balms for the next 15 years if we want to. So I had no idea starting out that you can make so many different kinds of balm. But we're that's our area, that's our
How
market.
many bombs do you have? And we're talking about the bombs that you put on your body, not the bombs that you explode. The So hilarious. How many bombs do you have? But seriously, how many bombs do you have?
Do I own personally or do we plan on launching?
Do you plan on launching? And currently,
Absolutely. So we're gonna hit the market with three different balms. Two of them are technically the same, just different herbal infusions. But we're gonna go to market with three, and then we're going to launch. You guys are gonna get the inside scoop, the
are you gonna?
spoiler.
You don't have to. You don't have to tell us, but go ahead.
So next we're gonna start our bath line. So after, a few months of our more classic balms, then we're gonna go into a bath line. And so we'll have I'll just say this, we'll have five bath products. And then from there it's like more balm after balm after balm after balm. It's gonna be an exciting ride, and I'm so thankful that Half Price Packaging is gonna be there with us.
Oh,
They're
we're
this
gonna be there all the way, man. All the way. Trust me. I got Ethan. I'm already on Ethan's butt. I'm like, hey, dude, listen. Ethan, first of all, I just want to say Ethan is a big fan of yours. He tells me, look, he says he speaks so highly of you. He says Lakeisha is the sweetest person ever and always laughing and always in a good mood, even though I don't know, even though she's having the worst day ever, she's busy, she's all over the place, she still makes time to talk to you. And you do, because I did have a conversation with you before this podcast, and you're so I would say compassionate and so much so you know so much how to handle time. Kind of like it reminds me of myself as well. Even though I'm all over the place and I'm busy and I'm doing so many things, I'm still there for the people who need me. But at the same time, if I'm not able to be there, I just tell them straight up, hey, listen, I can't do this or do that. But that's so sweet of you, Lakeisha, and very, very genuinely kind of you. And
yeah.
yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I got this what was that? I got a mint right here. This is a mint bomb, right?
Yes, so that is mint. So those were the first round of boxes that we did with you guys. And but going back to what you were saying, thank you so much. And I do apologize for being late today. That's typically not how I show up. But speaking of showing up, I appreciate how you guys were there for us in this sort of, I would say, beta testing packaging, right? So I love that you guys have a small minimum order quantity.
We do.
That right there is, I would have to say, a lifesaver for small business. Because as a small business, you see so many vendors out there who want to start you out with 5,000 units or 10,000 units. And you think to yourself, I don't even know if I'm going to last 100 units. Could you imagine having that much packaging inventory if you're not moving product quick enough? On one hand, you think to yourself, okay, this is good for the long term because I won't have to order as many packaging units as frequently. However, if things don't go as well, now I'm left with a lot of, leftover. And so you don't want that. I think as a small business, you want to kind of take your time and ease yourself
Of course.
into. into the market. And so with half price packaging, not only are we able to do that, but honestly, 200 boxes is what we started out with. And I was able to, show those off to a few folks, those that are close to me that have helped build this business and say, hey, what do you think? And I think 200 boxes is a great start because it allows you to sort of
It's a
test.
great start.
Yeah, it allows you to test and sort of walk before you run. So
Yeah, and the more boxes you order, the cheaper it gets per unit, and you economies of scale hidden, and you save more as you order more boxes. Now, the thing is, Lakeisha, you started Lavichelle. You're still in the startup phase. How do you make these bombs? Honestly, I mean, do you want to tell us behind them, behind the scenes?
well, I
I
can't
mean,
give
what's going on with these bombs?
I
No, I don't want you to tell me that.
I can't give away all my secrets, but what I will
Okay,
say is
fine.
we are
All right,
100%.
fine.
We're 100% vegan. No fragrance added, no parabens, no synthetics, no dyes. It's basically what you see is what you get. And so um, we wanted to make sure that our balms were gentle on all skin types, especially sensitive skin. I myself have eczema. And,
Really, it's pretty
yeah,
common.
it is common. But, here's the thing, thinking about what we want to solve for, thinking about what we've tested for. We've actually been around for 11 months. This month makes 11 months.
Next
I
month is your anniversary.
guess
Nice.
it doesn't feel that way because we still haven't launched yet, but I've truly wanted to take the time to do the testing, to do the figuring out, to do all of the fine tuning before we start. And there's so much advice online. People say, oh, just put it out there. Yeah, but when you do that, you have to go back and fix things. And I really wanted to get to a place where I knew for sure we've done all that we can do. Now let's leave it up to the customer to provide us
Right.
feedback. But with half price packaging, and I know you're asking us about us, but truly you guys
Yeah,
have
you bring it over to us. I
I
asked you about
mean,
you and you
yeah, because you guys, I wanna say you've been with us from the start, but we're still in the startup phase, like you said, but you truly have been there
yeah,
from the beginning. I remember when I reached out to Ethan and he moved so quickly, helping me put all the dots together with what to do next. And I immediately put together a brief. He delivered that to the creative team. But you guys, once we decided what we wanted to sell, half price packaging helped us identify how to show up. And I just again, I can't thank you guys enough because when I did my creative brief and wrote in there the color scheme that we wanted, I gave Ethan a range of colors. And the color of the box that you have is the color you guys came up with, and it really is the perfect color. And I love this, and I know that may seem
yeah.
simple thing to some people, and it is.
No, it's not white though. It's not
It's not.
completely white. It's
What?
like a color gradient, I would
Ex-
say, or like a palette, a
exact,
mixture.
exactly. So when I think about the color of some of our balms, it's very close. It's not
So,
far off.
Lakeisha, I'm looking at this box right here. What is this? Is that your logo?
So that's not our logo. So initially, so again, that's why I think for anyone out there that's going to watch this, half price packaging is great for, as I said, beta testing. You can order a small minimum quantity and test it with, a controlled group or a focus group or however you want to test. But initially, this was supposed to be a smear. Like if
A
you were
what?
a smear, like if you open up the bomb and take a smear of the product and rub
Oh,
it.
so this is a smear? Wow, that's pretty creative.
Supposed to be a smear.
Yeah, what you got over what you got over there?
It's supposed to be a smear. But it's so
That's
funny
pretty
because
creative.
I thought so, Ali. I appreciate you for saying that. But, to I showed that to my brother and he said, "What is that supposed to be? If people see that, they're not going to know what that is." And I said, "You know what? I'm going to give it some more thought and I ended up reworking the design, Ali, and as creative as I thought that was, and as cool as I thought that was,
Yeah.
that's not gonna be a feature on our next evolution of our packaging journey, I will say that. But I
It's
love
not.
It's not. I know.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna miss it too. And
Hey,
I
that's fine. No worries. The thing is, you're a startup right now, right? You're starting it up, and you have so much wiggle room to make changes, make transitions, make change to brand logos, change to the brand ingredients, even the product. You have so much leeway to look around and see the external factors that make up your brand or even your product, like I said. So uh, there's whatever we do offer free design support here at the company, but if there's other things that you want us to give you some support with, we can definitely do that. Even I can do that. That's why I'm here. My main job is as client relationship manager. So what I do is I just talk to the clients and see what's going on and connect them with their account managers and make sure that they get the support that they need. In your case, I do
in
have some
my
ideas.
in my
What was that?
case, Ethan nailed it. The creative team nailed it because I went to him and I said, "This is exactly what I want." Other than the color, you guys nailed that, and we've been running with that ever since. So thank you for the brand color, the look and feel, but also beyond, body balm and personal care and all of that, you guys, Half Price Packaging helped us find our brand identity. Like the way you have the brand name on there, we've kept all of that the same. We've kept
Right.
the bold
The
font.
font.
Yes, the font is mostly all the same. The only thing that is the biggest difference is the smear on the front, the embossed.
You really like that smear, don't you? You love that smear.
I know.
You
I do
just
love
love
it.
it.
That was my favorite part about the whole
Yeah.
thing. I said, "Oh, we'll really stand out like that." But my
Yeah.
brother realized, he said, when people see that, even though you know what it is, they might not know what it is. And so I appreciate packaging for helping us find.
Honestly, my take was it looked like probably the map of probably your county you live in because it, d- it doesn't actually look similar to a map of a state. So I thought it was like a county in out of Austin, whichever city Austin is, and maybe it's the county, the county map uh, shape.
That
So that's
is
what I thought.
me. That's hilarious. But no, we've narrowed it down since then. And I can't wait. I was telling Ethan the other day when I spoke to him that I can't wait to show him my new design. So I think it's gonna be still on track with what you guys helped us develop the first time. So again, for anyone
Hmm.
out there who's just starting up, I think you guys are the perfect solution. Because could you imagine a startup purchasing 2,000 minimum order quantity boxes and then having to repurchase again because they don't quite fit? Could you imagine that?
Wait a minute, who did that? You did that?
Nobody did that, I hope, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
nobody did that. That's what I thought. I'm
imagine
like,
that
no, I can't imagine that because that would be a really big risk
it
for
would.
the brand.
It would.
So, you told me, Lakeisha, that Lavichelle is the name. I'm just gonna start off with the name. Lavichelle is your name, the first two letters of your name, and then the Lavichelle, Lavichelle, then the middle name Michelle and last name Anderson. Just your first name and your middle name, right? All combined together.
Yes, first name and middle.
Lakeisha Michelle Anderson. So it's Lavichelle. So that's how you came up with the name. It's
It's
pretty fancy, I gotta
yeah,
say.
Lakeisha Victoria Michelle. And so the last name didn't get
There we
included.
go.
That's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Lakeisha Victoria Michelle
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. And
Wait a minute. Lakeisha Victoria Michelle Anderson? Nice.
it's a
That's pretty
long,
cool.
I know
That's pretty cool.
my mother got carried away. But apart from that, it worked out because in the beginning, I was, again, you know what you want to sell, you know what space you want to be in, but sometimes things like packaging, a name can be
Right.
challenging to try and figure out, what do you call yourself, right? But after we did that, we pretty much hit the ground running, coming up with idea after idea for building out our portfolio and what we were going to stand for, what our mission is. And then Half Price Packaging really took it from there. As I said, you helped us
Right.
develop our brand
Well,
identity.
Lakeisha, it's not all us, it's well, I understand packaging is important and it not only keeps your product safe,
Mhm.
I mean, it also gives you the aesthetics. It's safety. I mean, people underestimate. I understand people underestimate packaging. Well, I mean, people just think of packaging guys as, hey, listen, they just make packaging.
Mm-mm. No, no,
I
because
am a big fan of it.
our product, this is a larger version. This is a 4-ounce jar of our balm, but it's a glass jar. We wanted sustainable materials. I mean, we could have used polypropylene plastic that's recyclable, but we wanted to use glass. And so
Hmm.
that was, you're absolutely correct. That was very important to me. I believe that was one of the first part of the first set of questions that I asked Ethan
Right,
was, will my product be stable? Because we are an e-commerce business, I wanted to make sure that by the time it reached the customer, that it would still be in one piece. And so, as I said in my review, even though you guys are half price, there is nothing half price about the end product. This box will absolutely keep my product stable, I feel. And I'm so happy about that and so proud of that.
right,
I know that at the end of the day, my customer is going to get something that's not only good for them when they open it up, but it'll still be there when they open it up. It
right.
won't be in pieces.
Yes, of course. Safety is really important. I think aesthetics is cool. It's one place, but then safety is important. Plus, packaging, like I was saying, people think of what I think is that people think that packaging is the packaging guys are not just, get the work done and see ya. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I think it's a very important part of a product. Packaging is very important, and I found my space, my career in this, and this podcast was my whole idea. And then I took this idea from my CEO, and then he gave me the full autonomy to get this idea up and running. And I think it's a very good idea to speak to our clients, but at the same time, know more about their business as well, know about their company. So that being said, Lakeisha, what do you think Lavichelle? How did it start? Were you always in the beauty industry,
Um,
always, or do you
yeah,
work in a different industry?
I do. So primarily I work in technology. And
You work
so,
in technology.
yeah, so thinking about like servers and cloud storage has nothing to do with personal care, body care, and the only reason
Nothing at all.
Yeah. The only reason why we're really a cosmetic is because, working with the FDA, that's how we're classified, right? But I don't like to call ourselves a cosmetic company, even though that's technically what we are, because I feel that when a person says cosmetic or thinks cosmetic, they think makeup or skincare, and you could take it a step farther and say we're a skincare company, which technically we are. But then when you think about how the public uses those terms, skincare or cosmetics, you're thinking makeup and face wash or facial cleanser, things like that.
Exactly.
So I think of us as a personal care product or body care product manufacturing, honestly. But hopefully the FDA will widen their net in terms of what terms can be used to describe.
The FDA.
Yeah, yeah, love them. Love
Yeah,
them.
we love them. The best. I
I
love government.
know. They're wonderful. They're so wonderful. They're very rigid, but very, very wonderful. But no, I had a great small business rep when I reached out to them. I actually called them because going on the website again as a small business, trying to get started, find out what you can and cannot do. Again, that's another reason why it's taken us almost a year to get off the ground because I want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward, to say the least.
Course, and I think the more you get more sales, the better it will be to make your product, and I think you'll be able to reduce costs for your product as well. I think I have a couple of ideas for you as well. I don't want to say it on stream over here live, but
Okay.
I just want to make some suggestions. I would just like to tell you a couple because we do have a lot of cosmetics. I understand you don't like that, but we have a lot of beauty industry brands that we have make packaging for. I think we have quite a few that I would like to tell you about, and maybe you can get their approach and incorporate some of their marketing ideas, or maybe get some inspiration regarding products as well. But I'll tell you that later on email or uh, through. I'll tell Ethan. I'll tell Ethan. But I actually, my father, he actually owned a cosmetic store In Pakistan, yes, he passed away unfortunately in 2009,
I'm
but
so sorry.
no, that's totally fine. And then he actually launched he had a store. He went to the United States every year or twice a year and used to buy a ton load of cosmetic brands, Clinique, Estee Lauder, MAC, all that expensive stuff. And then he used to sell those right here in Pakistan. And
Yes.
he was pretty he was he and so I'm a little familiar with cosmetics, and of course cosmetics is a woman dominated uh, industry in terms of at least customers and clients. So I actually we I have an idea how cosmetics, well, because whenever the audience of cosmetics, the women, they look at cosmetics and it's they spend a lot. They spend a
They
lot of
do.
money on it, and
They do.
it's even men too. I'm not saying that, but it's just crazy how good brands sell so much because their stuff is so good.
You're
And
absolutely right.
yeah,
Absolutely right. There are two things that you just said, sitting here thinking about in terms of looking at other brands and what they're doing. It's funny because with our new design that I can't wait to share with Ethan, I actually was inspired by a design that I saw on your Instagram page. So,
nice. Nice.
so
I'll actually show you some boxes later on video if we get a chance of our cosmetic brands that we have that we make boxes for. Some there's two or three that are so huge that are so good and that are kind of in the same pathway that you're taking, which is natural ingredients, vegan friendly.
yes.
They don't do a ton of stuff to your skin, and I'll tell you about it. And I'm really proud that they're our clients too.
Oh,
So I don't want to say it on our podcast because I don't know, maybe they signed an NDA, but I want to check first.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I totally understand. But the other thing you had mentioned was about, who we're serving, right? And we wanted to I also wanted to be thoughtful about, as you said, the audience, who's going to be using our product. And so I really wanted to come up with something that was good for everyone, male or female, because I was studying in an herbalist class one time that the instructor, she said that skin has no gender, and I love that, and she's so right, like, skin truly has no gender, and so I'm so thankful to be in a space where we can serve a wide range of people. It's gentle for all skin types, and I love that. So yeah, really, really, really proud of our product, but you asked about us for me to tell you more about us, and I wanna share with you our mission because working with you guys and then working with our test group, it really
Please.
helped to figure out who we are and what we're all about. So originally, Ali, we wanted to be a pharmaceutical company because I wanted to develop a product that would be good for my mother. My mother has type 2 diabetes, and one of the symptoms that she has is the sensation of pins and needles, right? So, like that tingly feeling that you get under your skin where it feels like something's crawling on you. And so initially I started thinking, oh, it would be cool to give her something that would sort of soothe that or numb that, right? But when you start talking about treating or, healing, that puts you into the category of a pharmaceutical. Well, here in the state of Texas, again, small business, in the state of Texas, there are, uh, when you're a pharmaceutical, that's drug manufacturing. So we are a manufacturer, and technically that would have been a drug. So we would have had to have a drug manufacturing license that you have to renew every few years, as well as a separate drug shipping manufacturing license. So that we would have been hit twice over, whereas in some states it's one fee for one single license. In the state of Texas,
Mm.
two separate fees. So working with the FDA, having them go through our formulas, like I shared a lot of that with them just so they would
I
know.
hate the FDA.
I
There, I
don't
said
hate
it.
I don't hate them because on one hand, they do help keep the general public safe, right? So there is a
Right.
aspect, and so I appreciate them. I
Of
appreciate
course, yes, yes, yes. In that sense, yes.
yeah, I
But
appreciate
it was just a burst that I wanted to just let out, and I just let that out. But of course, if FDA was not around, we would be, I don't know, people would be putting stuff on their face and be like, "Oh my God, what the,"
right.
but that's
Absolutely. And so walking through my key ingredients with them, helping me to determine, is this a cosmetic or is it a pharmaceutical? So we've evolved. You asked me via email, like, let's talk about how you've evolved. And yes, a lot of it has been evolving with half price packaging. But then there's been that deeper part of developing our brand where it came to how are we solving? What are we solving for? Right. And so going back to, are we a pharmaceutical? Are we a cosmetic? So minus all of the fees, take stripping all of that away, working with the FDA to determine what are our ingredients doing exactly? What kind of product do we have in terms of what our test subjects have said that it's doing for them, right? So my mom has been using this since my very first test batch. The very first batch that I made, she tested it for me and she's
hmm
been putting it on daily. Um,
right.
Within 3 to 6 months of using it, she ended up going to her primary care physician. And one thing that I didn't realize about type 2 diabetes is that it shows up in the skin. Some of the skin symptoms that you get from type 2 diabetes is really dry, patchy skin, dark hyperpigmentation, discoloration, um, again, dry, itchy skin. You have neuralgia, which is nerve pain, and then you have neuropathy, which is like, nerve damage,
Pins
right?
and needles.
Right, and that's that pins and needles feeling that you have. Well, when you think about some of our key ingredients like shea butter and jojoba oil, and then on top of that, it's power packed with the herbal infusions. We do our herbal infused jojoba oil right here in house. So putting those nutrients into all of those different elements, you're getting something, yes, that is providing you that nourishment and those nutrients that you need, but it's also soothing your skin. And
And
so
did she get back some feeling, some
she did, or she
sensation?
has rather, and she tells me all the time. Like one time I had kind of took a break from making some because I was waiting on some more raw material to come in. And she said, when is the next batch? When are you going to make some more? Because within those first 3 to 6 months of using it daily, she said that when she went to her primary care physician, she looked at her feet because that's one of the main areas of the body that they look at to see how you're managing your diabetes. And she said
hmm
she at her feet and said, "Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Your skin looks amazing." And she said,
Right. Mm.
"My daughter makes a balm and I wear it every day, obviously on top of getting pedicures and things like that, but she's able to keep her skin moisturized." And so thinking about that, I said, to your point, how are we differentiating ourselves from these other cosmetic brands now that we found out we're a cosmetic and not so much a pharmaceutical, with less fees, by the way, less fees involved.
Thanks. Thank you, FDA.
I know, thank you, FDA. But our mission is now to soothe skin symptoms of underlying conditions that
Now, speaking of skin symptoms, Lakeisha, sorry to cut you off. Do you plan on, so the research and development, who, who do you do the research R&D for this, for your bombs, or because it seems it's a pharmaceutical, clashes with cosmetics. And what kind of research do you do, and how did you come up with such a mixture of ingredients right here, and you're able to soothe the skin and nourish the skin? How do you go about that? How do you do the R&D?
so I do that in many different pathways, I would say. And the ingredients that you see there on our initial set of product boxes has evolved as well. I'm actually waiting for our new preservative system to come in the mail. It's going to be delivered today. Even
Nice.
even our ingredients have evolved since day one. And so really proud of that as well. But a lot of it, honestly, Ali, I love to read. I love to research things.
Do you? Nice.
And so on top of that, I actually, because I knew what I wanted to do, well, I said, okay, looking at all of these different herbs and plants because that's really how another way it got started. I was out in my garden one day. I started gardening a year ago in July, and that's really where
Did
this
you?
all came from. I did. And so I came in one day after clipping my basil because, if you trim it a little bit, it grows more
Right.
profusely. And so I did that to my basil and my rosemary plant. And I came in the house, I had all of these clippings, and I'm like, this is such a waste if I throw this in the trash. What can I do with this? And that's when I started doing the research, what to do with like an overabundance of herbs. And so that's when I learned that the same herbs that I grow and have for herbal tea to put inside my body, you can put it on your body, and your skin will actually
Yeah.
absorb that and get nutrients from that. And so knowing what I know from learning about herbs and other botanicals and plants that I grow in my garden, taking that knowledge, taking how I've seen my mother manage her underlying condition, and then Olay actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I did pay for the course. They were offering. I saw again, the internet is an amazing place with advertising, but they were
Of
offered.
course. Depends on how you use it.
Yeah, they were offering a paid certification course for skincare and cosmetic science. And so I took 3 of those courses. I have 3 certifications from Olay, and I'm very proud of those because
Olay's pretty big.
they are. And it's funny because my mom actually uses them for skincare. So for her facial care. And she
So
talks,
is Pond's.
yeah, she,
Pond's.
yeah, they're really awesome. I like their, I guess you could say sort of travel. They have these little pads that you can use where you just take them and, wipe your face with those. Those are
Yeah.
yeah. But,
Are you aware of this brand called Toops and Co Organics?
no.
Okay. They're also pretty big. You can look them up, and they are one of the, I think the biggest. I wouldn't say one of the biggest, but they're pretty fast growing in terms of natural ingredients, kind of like what you're doing. And I think have a lot of natural ingredient products in there, and it's skincare, but they're also venturing into some other parts of the product industry as well. Some different niche, but it's still cosmetics. They have soaps, they have skin, body balms, lip balms, and they have branched out more, but they have body balms too. And there's a lot of brands that do have this natural. Their niche is natural ingredients. But the question is, Lakeisha, do natural ingredients help you, or do the chemicals help you, or a blend helps you? A nice blend of that
So
helps you.
I as you can probably imagine, I wouldn't say I'm biased toward the and I don't like to use the word natural, right? So I'm telling you, you have to talk to the FDA every now and then. So they don't necessarily approve or disapprove of certain terms, right? And natural is one of those words. And so when I think about what we're doing and again how we're differentiating ourselves, I like to say we're nature derived.
Nature
Because
derived.
yes, because I learned that you can say that something is natural and it not necessarily grow out of the ground. And I learned that
Yeah,
recently. Like if you look at some of the food, at least here where I live, I've heard it's better overseas, the food. But here, um, a company could say that they use natural ingredients and it simply be naturally flavored, meaning it's imitated to
it's a
taste
play of words.
right. And so that's why I personally prefer to say, describe our ingredients as naturally derived or nature derived because it literally you can grow it, you know what I mean? And so I appreciate that.
Yeah, the FDA is pretty big on. I think any government agency is pretty big on the. I think they're pretty big on telling. I mean, whatever you see on the boxes, definitely they don't want to mislead the public. So you have to, for example, if you look at a snack, it says nutrition products, the nutritional facts. It's
Mhm.
true most of the time. They tell you what they're putting in. It's
Mhm.
not like they're hiding anything. However, there's some, whatever it is, whatever you see on the box, it's it's most likely 99% truth, in my opinion, because the FDA is the one that regulates that, hey, listen, you got to put this on the box.
Right.
You cannot mislead the public.
Right.
And
Right.
I think
And
that's true.
Absolutely. So in terms of a favorite, I would say I'm obviously we prefer nature derived ingredients, right? But did you know that even things that are nature derived, for example, I was looking at an ingredient the other day and it was a synthetic, but it also is naturally occurring in certain plants. And I'm like, okay, well then why not just use the plant version as opposed to the
Yeah, that works definitely. That happens. Now,
no.
but there's some products where you look at it, there's so many words that you can't even pronounce the ingredients. So that's why coming back to my initial question when I asked you that, do you think all natural is good, or do you think all chemical is good, or a blend? And then you said naturally derived. That's also a thing because you can extract the compound or the component from a naturally derived, from a natural thing, and then derive it from that, and then put it in your finished product. So
Absolutely.
I think you give a great answer. I understand now.
Oh, well, thank
I
you.
understand now.
I don't wanna sound like I have any favorites because honestly, Ali, when you think about it, again, I don't wanna sound biased. I personally prefer nature derived, but there are some synthetics that solve for things and people prefer those things and how they work, right?
Right now,
Um,
Lakeisha, I use a face wash called Panoxyl. Have you heard of that?
I have. I heard they're very
So
effective.
they're like $20 a piece, I think. So I used that, and I went to a doctor, my primary care, and he said, "Hey, listen, why don't you put this on your skin? You got a bunch of acne action going on." So I'm like, "Okay, listen, yeah, I'll use it." So it has a compound, or it has a component or a chemical called benzoyl peroxide.
Yes.
And I he told me that, hey, listen, go to the drugstore, buy a face wash that has more than 5% benzoyl peroxide. So I did exactly that, and then my acne disappeared. Now, benzoyl peroxide sounds pretty alarming to me. The name, it sounds like, I don't know. Whenever I see that, it sounds like, I don't know, some scientists in the lab are just doing this and making some acid to put on your skin. But I don't know anything about it. But it did help me. So it helped me, and it made sure that my acne went away, and it did go away.
There
It
you
went
go.
away, and
So
yep,
that is proof right there that sometimes, really all it boils down to is what works for you. And so
correct.
one of the reasons why we are revisiting our preservative system is because one of our preservatives that we were initially that we were testing it just had a bad it left a bad, feeling with the general public,
Mm,
even though the FDA, MOCRA, and other regulatory bodies, even though they don't see it as an ingredient that is endocrine disrupting, toxic, even though it is considered safe to use in cosmetics, even though there has been research done by the Cosmetic Institute, of Research saying that it is, safe even at the lowest levels that are typically used for preserving cosmetics, people still have this bad, perspective of this certain ingredient. I'm not going to say it partially because I can't even pronounce it myself. But when you look at natural preservatives, again, and preservatives are a touchy subject, right? But here you talk about benzoyl peroxide. Our newest preservative system that we're going to be actually launching with includes uh, uh, benzyl alcohol. And benzyl alcohol is one of those things where it is naturally occurring in nature, right? But there are some people who say, oh, it's a synthetic. But when you look at this preservative system is said to be natural and not synthetic. So again,
hmm
you're absolutely right. It begs the question of what am I putting in my body, whether it's synthetic or not? Is it really helping me with my issue? Because really that's all that
Now, what I have you what's your opinion on tallow?
tell. Hey, if it works for people, I was told some years ago there's more than one way to skin a cat. Personally, I don't know why anybody would skin a cat, but I know it's just a turn of phrase, right? But
Yeah,
I don't think I want to be putting beef fat on my body. But,
yeah,
I prefer to eat my cows, not rub them on
yeah,
my skin.
right. I've heard a lot of people talk about tallow. There's a lot of businesses that are in the towel. I've used a towel bomb before.
I have a
I didn't
question.
use it.
I have a question for you, Ali. Does it smell like steak meat? Like, what's the smell like?
It doesn't smell. I don't know. It's fragranced in some towel is fragrance and some is
Right,
fragrance free. But I've
right.
tried it one time and it didn't do a lot, but I didn't do it religiously. So I don't know how I'm not in a position to say anything about it, but I think that's also FDA approved, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is, absolutely, right? But I think it's very creative, honestly. And when you think about remedies, right? So how we're into how, Lavichelle, we use herbs and stuff, right? Other, companies or, business owners have decided to go that route of using animal product. I think that's very clever, honestly, because when you think about, you know, what we eat or what we wear, right? So much goes to waste. And so when you're thinking sustainably, using other parts of the animal to solve for other things. Honestly, I think it's clever. I think it's brilliant. So I'm not going to knock it. I was very curious though how it smells because I've never bought it for myself to find out how it smells. So it's interesting that it has a delightful smell. Apart from that, I think it's perfect for people who don't believe in waste and wasting parts of animals, right? I mean, if you're going to end their life, you know, make it, I guess, meaningful for why you're doing it. So
Yeah, uh, for sure, for sure. And I personally didn't feel a lot of changes when I put some bombs on, but I think it's there's so many things in the market that you don't have, you try, and we're discovering things on a daily basis as well. So such as I think recently I started putting some just regular coconut oil in my skin too for sometimes in my beard, and that helps me a lot. I put a lot of coconut oil in my hair as well. Just
right.
regular cold pressed, unrefined coconut oil. I can pick it up from Target, and it helps me a lot. So sometimes I just use soap. I just grab a soap and put it on my skin, and that kind of makes it a little dry. But I'm still discovering what kind of skin type I have. I've never been to a dermatologist, so I wouldn't know. But I think it's the job of some professional to figure out what's going on. But
Yeah, and
I hope I
yes,
figure it out.
I'm sure you will. And sometimes, Ali, it's a matter of, like you said, doing the research on yourself to know what works for you. I could stay here all day and try to sell you lava shell. But, and the thing is, all of our ingredients are supposed to be non-comedogenic. What that means is it shouldn't clog your pores. But keyword shouldn't. If you have acne-prone skin, more than likely you may experience a breakout. Why? Because you have
Hmm.
a sensitive skin type. Acne-prone skin, I would say, is a sensitive skin type. And so, as someone who suffers from acne and just extremely sensitive skin, eczema, I have gone through product after product after product, paid an insane amount of money because, as anyone knows, as you said, eczema being a common condition, you know, those products are priced higher in the market. And so for someone who's trying to learn their skin, it can be costly trying to identify what works best for you, but
True.
it's also a learning experience to say what does work best for me. Let me try this or that. And but after a while you do feel a bit exhausted. And so making it our mission to state what our mission is up front and the kind of formulas that we're putting together, 100% vegan, no parabens, no none of that, making sure we tell people that we're soothing skin symptoms, right? Of underlying conditions, even if it's a surface level condition like eczema, some people would beg to
Right.
differ, right? But I wanted to be very clear about that. And I'm so glad that we have finally settled in to our lane of what we solve for. And again, half price packaging has helped us figure out how we're going to show up now.
Thank you.
That's what we're
And
doing.
where do you plan on taking Lavichelle? What's the next 5 years of Lavichelle look like to you, Lakeisha? Where do you plan on having a brick and mortar? So, I mean, or
That is my
what's the
dream.
long-term vision? Do
That
you?
is that is my dream, Ali. Yes, because that day when I brought in those clippings from my garden of trimming back my herbs, I promise you, I saw it clear as
Was
day.
that the day when you thought of it?
Yes, I saw it clear as
Nice.
day. I saw it clear as day, and I was not asleep. I was awake, and I it was a blink, but it felt like I could see it. I could see it. I could see the brick and mortar. I could see the raw wood shelving on the wall. You
Or
know,
maybe, Lakeisha, you could the having it in before a brick and mortar, having it in some retail stores would be nice too, like some
I
nice
have
retail stores.
I have given thought to what channels I want to sell on, right? Or sell in or sell through. And I have heard from other business owners that, obviously there is a percentage, right, of profit. And I've often heard that sometimes, especially when you're just getting started out, you know, asking yourself the question, is it worth it? Right. And so I
I think you'll
think
find your way as you move on. You'll find your way how you want to bring your product out there.
exactly, exactly. And the hope is that as an e-commerce for now, that we can build that trust, build that loyalty, build the brand recognition with our
Exactly.
packaging. Helping people to get to know us better before we take a big step like that will definitely be important. So, but yeah, long term, absolutely brick and mortar for sure.
Nice, of course. I think once you start having enough volume that you expect, you'll be able to figure out hey, what's my next step? Where should I go? And I hope you're
Absolutely.
surrounded by people who are providing you the correct information and giving you market trends, how the market's working, and where to go from there. I think that's very important. Plus, being a business owner, being somebody who's a founder of a cosmetics and a medical industry smashed together brand, what do you expect? How does the in terms of sales and logistical issues, what kind of decision making do you do on a daily basis as a business owner? And how do you go about it? What kind of challenges do you have?
Challenges, I would say one of the biggest, well, I wouldn't say biggest challenges because I've learned that it's not a challenge anymore once you just take it on, right? It's so much better if you face your challenges head on and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Whatever it is, just do it. In terms of whatever you're faced with, if it feels like a roadblock, just, step by step, day by day, till you get it figured out. But some of the things that initially were an issue for us, but not quite as anymore, procurement, right? I would have to say that's one of my favorite parts of what I get to do, right? Is working across different areas of the business, but my favorite is procurement, and that is identifying really cool vendors like yourself. But one of the issues that I've noticed, and it's not even about what's going on in our current political environment. I don't even Tariffs are like the least of my concern, honestly. Like, because initially I always knew that I wanted to procure vendors who were a bit more local to where I am. And let me tell you why. It's nothing to do with tariffs. It has nothing to do with being any sort of bias. It simply has to do with shipping time, right? If I know,
That's very important for business owners, shipping time.
like recently, I identified a glass jar vendor that's right here in Texas. And you can actually avoid shipping costs if you drive down to their facility and pick up the jars. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like they're like less than 2 hours away from here. And I said, you know
Yeah,
what? That's
just
actually
hop on in the car.
yeah. I was like, that's not a bad idea. Obviously, that may not be the case for all of our raw materials, right? But in terms of overcoming challenges, that was one that I thought about from the very start.
Yeah.
Who are we
And is that vendor is he still your vendor?
So they are gonna be our vendor for a longer term product that we're gonna come out with. But the current jar vendor that we use
Nice.
is California. And I love that because again, if you have some kind of bottleneck that happens, I can catch a flight. You know what I mean? It's not like, if they're overseas and now I gotta catch a longer flight or an international flight, I feel a bit more secure knowing that, you know, I
It's
don't
local.
yeah, I don't have to travel far to go and get my product if there's some kind of logistical issue. And so I appreciate that. But that I would have to say that is something that's top of mind all the time. For example, our shea butter vendor, I had to change them up for for our unrefined shea butter because the vendor I initially bought from, they don't carry it anymore.
Do you have
And
shea butter too? That's pretty cool.
yeah, I do. And so we
You're
had
gonna
to
have to get me some.
yeah, absolutely. And once we get settled and get up and going, I'll definitely make sure you get a box of products. So,
Really?
but
You know what?
yes,
That's the best thing anybody has ever said. That is great. I love stuff.
oh,
I love
thank
shea
you.
butter actually. I I love shea butter. It helps. It helps me a lot. I
It's
put
a
that on my skin a lot of times.
hey, you know what, Ali? It's okay if you don't. I still want to send you some product. You don't have to butter me up per se. You can
No,
get
I
some.
swear to God, I love it. No, no, I'm not joking. I swear to God, I love it. That's why I asked you about shea butter. It's one of my favorite things. I put it on every day.
It is the base. It is the base of all of our bombs. So
Nice.
yeah,
I and do you plan on expanding your product line? Because you did say that you have a bunch of products coming out. So I
absolutely. So we
and you
do.
dropped it over here on the podcast, and I'm really grateful for that. So you heard it
Thank
here,
you.
everyone. Lavichelle, new products coming soon, and I hope that it's successful because I think the body bombs. I think you're gonna branch out of body bombs for sure. And is that a different body bomb or is it a total different product? What was that? What was the name of the
So
product?
our bath line is still gonna be balm, but you're gonna find out that we're gonna have, and again, you're hearing it all here first. We're gonna have exfoliating balm, lathering balm. So we're gonna get into the soap field. It's gonna be great. It's
Really?
gonna yeah, yeah, it's gonna be really wonderful. I mean, I think maybe I'm just talking it up because I'm proud of the product, but honestly, sincerely, I'm so proud of this product. And knowing now that I don't have to worry about our brand look and feel because of half price packaging, that right there is a challenge I don't even have to think about anymore.
You know how to think about it. Exactly. I was gonna tell you, soaps, we do so much soaps. We have so many soap clients and as far as soaps go, or even your other bath products go.
Ali, it's not a soap bar. It's basically a soap bar in a jar. So,
No way.
yes.
That's the coolest thing ever. I've never seen that before in my life.
Right? So I found out, I did a little bit of research. We have competitors in that space, but it's a very
Do
small
you? But I bet they're not a lot,
it's a
right?
s- it's a small space, a small market, but we're happy to join them. And that's another thing that can be seen as a challenge or perceived as a challenge, looking at your market, right? And thinking about market share. You know, I'm happy to be a part of a space that is solving
Yeah.
people's skin
Think
symptoms.
about putting those jars, Lakeisha. Think about putting them in a tube as well. Paper tubes. Have you
We
seen one
are.
of those tubes?
We are
We'll do those tubes for you.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't say that, Ollie, because I've been trying to procure. Again, procurement is always top of mind for me. I've been trying to
Okay.
procure. I was thinking about aluminum tubes. Do you guys have other sort of tubes, tube material? Tell me you're
Well, I
kidding.
would show it to you, but I'm in Boston and I'm not in the office. And
Ali.
they are with Ethan. I'll ask Ethan to send you some two pictures. We have aluminum and we also have paper
Tell me
cardboard
you're
tubes.
kidding, Ali.
We'll
Oh my,
make them for you.
Ali, you have been a godsend.
Yes, we'll
Do
make them for you.
you know how hard it is to find aluminum tubes? Do you know?
Pretty hard. Pretty hard. Judging from the face you're making, pretty hard.
Ali,
Yep.
do you know how hard it is also to find aluminum tubes that you can get customized with your brand look and feel on them? Do you know how?
Now, I saw when I went to the office in California, I saw some metal tubes. Now, I don't know if they were aluminum, but I'm gonna check with Ethan. I'll see if we could definitely make you a
Ali,
model for
they don't
aluminum
they,
tubes.
they don't have to be aluminum as long as they are recyclable material. And when I say recyclable, I've even had to read about that. Like you have different types of plastic. PP plastic, polypropylene is ideal if we're gonna go plastic, okay? So make sure it's PP plastic or aluminum, like or some other
Okay.
situation.
Biodegradable,
Yes,
environmental friendly. Sure.
yes, got it. You got it.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
why
I'll let Ethan know.
that is why I love half price packaging. See, all of that I don't have to worry about. So you have taken those challenges off my plate.
Don't worry, I'll get it done. I'll get it done, Lakeisha.
There
Don't worry about that.
you
No,
go.
seriously, I swear to God, I'll get it done for you. But
Peace.
the
Now all I have to think about is procuring shea butter, and that's
yeah, of course. And don't worry about the MOQ as well. That will definitely fit your needs too. So that's definitely gonna be fine. And I'm really excited for that for your soap in a jar,
yeah,
your product launch. I actually do have another client who's thinking about making hand soap. He's out of I don't know. He doesn't do a podcast with he never did a podcast with me, and he told me secretively, so I'm not gonna say his name but or tell you his location, but he's also launching a soap brand, but it's not in a jar, it's liquid soap in a bottle
nice.
in a pump bottle, and it's he's gonna launch that in a put that in a tube, and he's trying to see what kind of tubes he wants for those. But
Bravo.
my God, he told me the retail price on those guys, and that was pretty up there. It's like a luxury soap brand, and
See,
he's using good stuff in it too.
that's
So,
amazing. He deserves.
but he's my client.
He deserves to be classified as a luxury, because I think about being a consumer of these things, right? The things that I like to use. And there are times when you get a little bit of sticker shock, but now being on the other side and creating products, you know why it costs a lot, right?
See,
Because
the
of,
thing is, Lakeisha, it's not about the cost. It's about the cost. But if you're getting the clients, giving the audience, giving your customers
right.
something that helps them a lot, then you have the right to charge them in the same way that it cost you.
The thing is, Ethan, Ali, God, thinking about Ethan, there I go. We talk about procurement, I think about Ethan. Hi,
Yeah.
Ethan. But what I think about is A, the number of ingredients, and then the cost of each of those individual raw ingredients on top of the core packaging that you put it in. All of those things cost money. So you gotta at least break even. And then on top of that, you want to make a profit. So I get it now. I totally get it why certain products
Yeah, you're not charging people for the ingredients, not only the ingredients, the packaging, the
value that
research and development, yeah,
right.
the time, the value.
Oh,
You're charging people for that as well. And people who understand that, they pay.
they
They
do.
pay.
They do. They do. They do.
You're a consumer yourself, right? I'm a
Yeah.
consumer myself. We know how consumers feel because we've been consumers our whole lives. So I
But I
think that plays into that too.
You're absolutely right. And again, being someone with sensitive skin, I understand that the market that I consume in, they do. They charge us a bit more because we have sensitive skin. And so I'm like, okay, that allows me to see to your point that there is some freedom there, right? To consider those things. But I also want to make sure that our product is, accessible, right? So but no, he absolutely that other client of yours deserves to be in the luxury space, especially if they're delivering high quality product.
Right
Absolutely.
now, my client, he's actually testing that product out. He's putting it on shelves.
Nice.
And
Congratulations.
if you want, I can definitely connect you with him. He's also a designer and a marketer. So if you need some assistance, if you want, I can connect you with him. He's because he not only does graphic design and marketing, he also launches his own stuff. And I've worked on some other products for him as well, which he launched. And
Nice.
then he works with other brands as well, and then he helps them, does the marketing over there too.
Ali,
It's a small company, and it's a good company, and he's definitely not close to you. He's way up north, but he's cool. He's a cool dude, really nice. Helped me a lot with a lot of orders, and I helped him with launching his own products plus his clients' products as well. So yeah, you're right. I think he deserves to, if it's in a paper tube, if it's good ingredients, then he deserves to charge the same amount of money that the work he put in. So goes
Ali,
both ways.
I don't know if you've heard yourself as we've talked through this interview, but you have basically continuously described how you're bringing other customers together. And I know you have this amazing podcast, but I think you should probably think about a customer
Amazing? I wouldn't say amazing.
custom
Amazing's a big word.
Customer Connect podcast, where you bring on more
Yeah.
than one customer to your podcast. That could be an idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually have one more podcast. I have your one, and then I have three more podcasts scheduled. You'll see them soon. I think you're going to be the 13th or the 14th episode. We
Oh, neat.
released 10 right now. And you know what? I'm really glad that I could do this, honestly. I feel good. I don't know if I told you, whenever I go to Pakistan, sometimes, and I have a podcast over there as well, but that's my own thing. I'll send you a link to that, but it's in a different language. I don't know if you're gonna
Well,
understand it.
you seem like you're so awesome at bringing people together. That could be a thing. My brother says I make
Yeah.
things a thing, so I'm making it a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. Is he your younger brother?
No, you would think so. He teases all the time and says he's 21. Like, no, you're not. Like, if you're 21, I must be 5. Like, come on. But he says that all the time. And so there was one joke he made. He always says he's 21. And I said, well, uh, he says, you look older than me. You have gray hair. I said, but you have no hair. So
Lakeisha, what's your what city are you in exactly? You said you're a little 2 hours or an hour and a half north of Boston.
an
What
hour
what city are you in?
north, Harker Heights. It's very small. Very
Tucker
small.
Heights.
Yes.
Nice.
Very
And
small.
you said you were born and raised in Austin in Tucker Heights?
No, no, no. So
Oh, no, Kansas,
I was
right?
born in Kansas City, Missouri. You're close.
Kansas City, Missouri.
You're close. But no, been here in the Central Texas area since I was 7. So long time Texas resident.
Nice. I bet it's hot there.
It is
It's
very
pretty
hot
cold and
today. We're supposed to get some rain, so that'll be nice.
really.
Yes.
How hot does it get in Texas? Like, does it reach 100?
Oh, absolutely. Over 100
Really?
sometimes. And
Holy crap.
yeah, that's not including the heat index. So
Oh geez. It's like 80. It reaches 80. People are taking their shirts off in Boston, and people start taking like
I've heard
hanging
Boston.
out in tank top.
I've heard Boston is so nice. So you're very fortunate
Yeah,
to
it's really nice.
live in
Yeah.
such a place that has such rich history. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's a cool city, a lot of old architecture and from the British, but it's pretty cool. I like it. From the British. It is. It's all British made. So it's pretty old and really nice. I like it. And it treats me well, I like the architecture, and there's a lot of like nature here as well. You go a little bit up north to New Hampshire. It's the mountains. But what I like about Texas is the terrain. It's all even, right? There's no bumps in Texas, right? Everything's all
Well,
even.
there are some. It's funny that you speak about Austin because we are so close, but
I've been to Austin, by the way.
there's a certain part that they call hill country. So it's funny that you
Oh,
say it's
country.
that because it's not. They have hills down there.
Really? I've been to Austin. I've been to Houston. I've been to Dallas. I've been down south. It's great. I love Austin.
Check out
It's such a
check
good
out
city.
hill country, or you can go to the
Oh,
desert.
country.
Yeah, we have a whole desert in the west, so check it out.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So, Lakeisha, I want to ask you one more thing. So, Lavichelle, it's e-commerce for now.
Yes.
You've pictured a brick and mortar, and you're launching more products. You've mapped a lot of things out. You're facing the daily challenges that you're supposed to face on a daily basis. And how are you gonna do this while juggling your job?
That's funny. So, it's so funny because I think like any startup owner or founder, all you can think about, and I think what keeps you going in your 9 to 5 until you're able to, you know, focus primarily on your business or your startup is just the idea that you love your product, you love what you're selling so much that you don't really think about you don't really think about that at first. You don't think about, "Oh, how am I going to juggle?" I just think for now I'll stay up at night after
It's a
5
leap of faith, right? You're taking
Right.
a leap of faith.
Just you stay up or you get up earlier, which is funny because I'm not into getting up earlier, but my mother tells me all the time, you want to get more done, start early. So if I have to do that, I'm willing to do it because A, I like my 9 to 5. They have really great benefits, and as a startup,
Yeah,
I don't have benefits with my startup company.
yeah, yeah. I don't think your startup can match the, I don't know, the medical and dental you're getting. So I get it.
So definitely want to keep my 9 to 5 for now. I love the company that I work for. They're a really great company. They do a lot of good in the world. But my hope is that one day Lavichelle can say the same, that we do a lot of good, that we do a
Yeah,
lot of
and I'll be there by your side for sure. And I hope that it does. I really hope that it does. And I want to make sure that you achieve your goals and make La Michelle what you want it to be. The right now, you said you're going to juggle your job. You're going to make sure that your own business, you're taking a leap of faith. You're making sure you'll wake up early, and it will pay at the end. I think it'll pay at the end, and I'll get you where you want to be. And I hope it does, because you're working towards your goals and you're working towards whatever you want to do, and you believe in your product. That's the best thing. You believe in it, you made it, and you have your belief. And hey, listen, the best thing about it is that it's yours. That's it. That's what I
Yes,
wanted to say. It's yours.
yes,
So
it
it's
is.
your thing.
That is one of the things that brings me joy every day when I think about it. Every day when I pull up our website that we're developing, every day, that's what I think about. Just how awesome this is and how I can't wait to share it with more people.
Right.
So,
And one
you
more thing, Lakeisha, sometimes you do have some anxiety and you do have some you're a sole proprietor, you're a business owner, and you're thinking that, hey, listen, what am I gonna do? Am I giving out the right vibes? I don't know
yeah,
what are am I taking the right marketing steps? Because I feel the same way when I'm doing my podcast. I have like 8 episodes out nowadays because my podcast is not, it costs me time, it costs me, well, not as much as a as a tangible product, but it's still a product that you can
yeah.
view. And my podcast does it costs me money and it costs me time. So it makes me feel like, hey, listen, I'm doing so much, but I don't know if how the public and how my viewers are portraying me as, and that kind of makes me feel a little anxious and a little, dare to
Oh,
say, scared,
don't
because
feel, yeah,
I don't know what's. No,
I
I
am.
do. I mean, I feel like that, and I'm sure you do too,
It's
because
so
you are
funny. It's
also a
it's
business
funny that
owner.
you say that because I was just thinking about that prior to this call. And then as I've been developing the website, like building that out. But first of all, don't feel that way. Yes, you may not see your product as tangible, but you are providing a service. Just as I was saying earlier, how you are figuring out a way not just to connect half price packaging to keep like you're the
But I'm not talking about this podcast because this is backed by the company, but my own podcast, because I'm happy with this podcast. This podcast is great. I got clients in this podcast. You're one of them. This is awesome. I got
I
full
had to make
confidence
sure.
in this. Don't get me wrong. I got so much confidence in this. We're actually
Okay,
banging
good.
this podcast out.
Good, good. I'm so
This is
glad
the
you feel
best.
that because
But
this is
my real podcast though, I'm a little scared about that, because
but
like
you know what?
I'm like, you know what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm
Don't
like,
feel that way. Don't feel that way, Ali.
it's
I'm
my
telling
own product, so I'm like,
it's your
whatever.
own product. But something that I heard someone say once, sometimes when it's your own, like it's your own baby, you want to shield it. As much as you want to share it with the world, you also want to shield it because you are scared and you are afraid that, well, they won't like my baby, right? They may think my baby's ugly.
Do you have kids? Okay. Maybe people don't like my baby. It's ugly. Oh, that's such a funny thought.
Right. Like you don't want people to think that about something that you're building, right? Something that you're
Yeah,
funding, something that you are putting
it
blood, sweat,
does.
tears into. And I
Do
get
people really think about their kids that way?
I hope not. Like most people think kids are cute.
Probably.
I hope they
Yeah.
don't
I think every parent loves their baby, but some neglect them.
they
But
do.
I don't want to get into that.
That's another topic for,
Yeah, that would get very depressing.
it would, but on a lighter note, I was thinking it's funny that you mentioned that though, because I was thinking about that prior to this call and as I've been building out the website. And, when you go to the About Us section, you know, I had this question in my mind, and maybe this is something else you probably have consulting can provide consulting help with. I don't know, but at what point, or do you at all connect a brand to the founder? Do you find when you talk to founders and owners and CEOs, do you find that it has been beneficial for them to connect their brand to a person or to keep those 2 separate? And what I mean by that is
Mm,
when I was thinking about our About Us page, I thought I wanted to have a part where it said meet the founder. And I have a little short blurb about myself and my name. And then I was thinking, well, what if
you didn't do that. Did
I
you do
haven't
that?
I did not do that.
You didn't do
When
that? Okay.
I have it written out. I don't have a picture there for myself.
That is very important that you said connecting the founder to the brand.
Yeah, like,
I've thought about it too.
that's something that
But
I'm
in my situation, my podcast is called the Hater Ali podcast. So there's no way that I can't not do that.
but
But
there are some people, Ali, who care about the person or the people behind a brand. And so,
yes,
I just that is something I guess you can put that to my list of challenges. I wouldn't say it's a huge challenge, but it is something that I'm thinking about because some
I
people,
think that's you can.
yeah,
It's your call. It's totally your call. I've thought about it too because I haven't opened up, well, not with my podcast because of course you see my face, but I can't I've thought about having products. I've thought about going into the product industry, specifically restaurant industry,
oh, nice.
and I've thought about a web page and I've thought about how the user would experience scrolling through the web page and ordering their food. But then when it comes to connecting the brand owner to the brand, that's something really tricky. And I would say just think about it, and it's your call to do it if you want to do it or if you don't want to do it. But it's
Well,
definitely your call.
the thing is, Ali, some people, you go on our website and they say, "Oh, here's our story." For some people, that may not be enough, and so you want to like
I think you'll be great. I think personally think
story
you'll
it.
do great. Looking at you, opening up with listing Lakiesha Anderson, I would buy it. I would buy your stuff. I would love it. You have a great story. You have a great background. I think you have a military. Your parents were in the military. Your dad.
Yeah, my
You
dad.
have a great background. Were you in the military?
No, no.
Okay. You're in the IT industry, and we actually had I think episode 7 or episode 8. There was I think you've seen it with Nicole DiTomaso, Sauce Boss Gang.
Yes,
She is
so inspirational.
also
So
yes.
inspirational.
She makes hot sauce, very high end hot sauce, really really hot sauce, and she does that. If you open up the her about me section in the about us, meet the owner, she does that, and she looks great doing it.
Mean, the thing is, she has a strong story, and it's hard, I think, in her instance, to separate the two, right? It's like you can't have one without the other. And so I think there are some instances like hers where it really works and it really helps in terms of building that brand recognition and brand loyalty with her customers and potential customers. But, for someone like me who's just about to launch, it is something that I'm thinking about. And, do I
Sure, please take your time. You don't have to take that decision now, but you can. But even if you don't do it, you'll be fine too. So
Yeah,
that's not going to be a problem.
I think it's a matter of what the story that you want to tell. And I have to say, Ali, even sitting here talking it out with you, again, half price packaging, we could not be where we are today on our journey or where we plan to be years from now without half price packaging. And so
Yeah, that's what's up. I swear to God. Thank you so much. Like you said that, you mentioned half price packaging so much. I'm like, I'm getting sick of it now.
I
I'm like,
mean,
come on, Lakeisha.
that was the whole
That's too much.
purpose,
No,
right?
thank you. I'm actually really, no, no, that's not the whole purpose. The whole purpose is Lavichelle. That's the
Look,
purpose.
I have several years of marketing experience, so maybe it's just the marketer in me. Like,
Yeah, I actually I showed the box right there in the beginning just to get it out of the way. I wanted to speak more about Lavichelle, but we did. I think we covered a lot in this podcast about Lavichelle,
we
your
did.
brand history,
Anytime you
and where you want to go and
yeah,
when you started.
anytime you want to bring us back on, I'm more than happy to do that.
We will.
To
Oh,
talk
we will.
our new look and feel. So I'm excited about
Yeah.
our new boxes. And when we get ready to launch our other products, what other packaging
Perfect.
solutions that, you guys come up with. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited
Yeah.
about the
I'm
future.
gonna get back to Ethan now and I'm gonna tell him about any paper tubes. He'll look into that for you. But it was great having you, Lakeisha. It was such a great podcast. We spoke for almost an hour and a half, and I think
Goodness. I hope I
that
didn't
was rightfully
take too
done.
much of your time.
Oh no, 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 I'm good. It's the long weekend. I hope you got some barbecue and stuff planned, but I hope you enjoy your long weekend. It's happy 4th of July to you.
Thank you.
And hey, listen, I'll let Ethan know about the paper tube, the tubes that you're looking for, and we'll definitely get that started for you. And I'll keep him in the loop as well. And if you ever need to be connected with Ethan, you let me know, and I'll connect you with him as soon as I can, because that's what I do.
Oh, that's so
That's what I
kind of
do here.
you. So
Yeah.
kind of you. I appreciate you. Again, appreciate half price packaging and love
Yeah.
talking to Ethan. That's a no-brainer. So love talking to Ethan. But no, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Of
Thank you for the
course.
opportunity for me to be a guest
No,
here.
thank you. Thank you for coming. I want to have you again as well, and I hope we'll make it happen somewhere down the line when, of course, you'll be grown more than you already have, and then we'll have another podcast, and then we'll take it from there and have a great show once again. Have a
Absolutely.
great show.
Sounds good, Ali.
Thank you, Keisha. Hey, I hope you have a great day, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'll send out an email to you. And one more thing before we go, I want to take a picture if I may. Can I?
Absolutely.
Let me
Absolutely.
grab it. I like to take a picture like this from a different phone. I don't want to take a screenshot. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, here I am. So I'm just gonna take a photo like this. All right, Lakeisha. Three, two.
Not bad. Am I looking directly at the camera? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want to take another one, or I like it, but do you like this, or does it look like
That
you don't
works.
like it?
I'm just
That
gonna
works. Cool.
gonna go with it.
It looks like a passport photo of you. That's hilarious. It's like you're just standing there with open up a passport. Oh, okay,
Great.
immigration. You're in. Of
God. Oh my God. No, I appreciate you guys. And thank you for helping us promote our product here and our brand. Um,
course.
I
No
was
one, absolutely.
I was telling Ethan that I'm like, gosh, like trying to get advertising and marketing as a small business. You guys are really helping us out with a bunch of different things. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think Ethan definitely nailed it. He nailed it on the spot, and I think he will continue to do so. He'll be able to do it. But I'm thank you, Lakeisha. I'll see you soon, man.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.